Hello and welcome in. My name is DrumRollTony. I'm a streamer on Twitch, musician, and music teacher living in Seattle. Every Monday we watch and react to 86 on the Patreon. We call it Depression Mondays for obvious reasons because the story is so good. It's full of like joy, more sorrow, really a lot more heartbreak, but man, it's super intense. But from like a soundtrack standpoint, it's just compositionally, it's been very good. It's been really nice to listen to. So we're going to do more music. We did a video on the first opening, but we have not done a video on the second opening. So we're going to do that now. This is Kyoukaisen by Amazarashi, the full version. I've heard the short anime version many times. Never once have heard the full version. So I'm very excited to hear what the differences are. All right, let's go. We'll get there in a second. Sorry to interrupt the flow, but you know, we do surface level music analysis here, so there's a lot of stopping going back. Now, it's kind of nice to hear this. I've heard the beginning many times, but always looking at stuff. This is really kind of great to just be ultra focused. The smoothness of the instrumentals in the beginning here is really... It's very interesting. We just get these little percussive, just little intricacies. And obviously the main focus is all kind of where the keyboard synthesizers are going there, where it's like a kind of a cool spacey sound and just like gives you this sense of flow, which is kind of interesting considering the tone of the voice when the voice comes in. Check it out. If you think of like timbre, meaning that like just the overall sound of what we're getting from the voice, it's pretty like, it's kind of like right here, you know, it's super kind of strained in comparison to what is happening within the opening sounds of the synth, which makes, I mean, it's kind of metagaming to be like, well, it makes complete sense of the show with like, you know, like what's going on and how the plot is being developed and what our characters are going through. That's true. Is that the reason it's there? Probably not, but it's easy to believe that that's the reason that there. But man, doesn't it sound good though? Because regardless of the anime, this would already be a really cool opening with the way the composition is kind of just opposites are kind of attracting and flowing, even though it's not really layered up. I really enjoy that kind of stuff quite a bit. Now, the next thing is we're going to go back, listen to our little percussion development and notice how it kind of goes into a breakbeat. Right there. Developments. Repetitive. Now some variety. Kind of like, kind of, you know, like it just break beaty, just a lot of like elements of like some kind of older sounds of potential like East Coast United States hip hop kind of stuff going on there. I definitely dig that, but it goes somewhere else after that. But I've always noticed that and been like, oh man, it's kind of a cool like little nod in that direction. But then we just completely not depart from it, but we just add some other layers with guitars, bass, and drum build. Development, and then what a huge difference. The bass comes in, the tone of the bass is killer, man. It feels like we're playing with the pick. There's some good also like a little bit tangible palm muting going on. You have the right side guitar line. It's just really, really great. Check out the right side versus the bass. Kind of like saturated, maybe with some string patches as well. I didn't even notice the left-hand guitar, the left side guitar versus that little counterpoint happening there. Really, really good stuff. That is my favorite harmony in the whole thing. Like I always geek in my mind. I geek out every time I hear that because the delivery is so smooth yet so musical. It's just with considering the contrast that has happened in just a mere. We're only 30 seconds in. Here it is again. Listen to the bass switch because we're going through like the development. There's this an ascension. There's a climax obviously coming to bring us into the drop that we stopped at like a couple minutes ago. But you have to really appreciate the chord progression and the way we're moving through that because you could alternatively, you could just play that progression with not really good voice leading within that and not really great musical choices to bring us to that drop. And the drop would no longer feel the way it does. However, the design here, all the compositional choices are very, very good. They're very addicting and they just like layer seamlessly. It's like a really nice motion to bring us to it. Guitars get louder. We'll keep going this time. Now, oh my god, it makes me emotional just listening to it though. It's so good. I love musicians. I love good musicians. Yeah, I mean I appreciate artists, but I love great musicians that can write good music, and everyone has the skill set within the ensemble to just make it happen. You're getting that here. What I find really interesting when we get into the drop here is how much is really the focus between the kit player, the drum set player, especially the right foot on the kick drum, to the bassist, because we're either playing that or they're we're really digging into a groove, which is 100% departure from all kind of that breakbeat stuff we had. It's great. Like that's not like an abnormal thing to do. I'm just commenting on the fact that it makes it such a good musical choice within the context of this. And again, you can metagame about what's going on with the storyline of the anime and what the reasons that might be. Or you could potentially just say it's also just a really good song and they made really good choices too. So both can coexist at the same time. Let's listen to this chunk again. Why does that sound so good? Well, I think the obvious reasons are, number one, the vocal harmony is outstanding. The writing for it hits, and then we're clearly dropped on our J-pop chord progression here. And the guitar work is really nice. Like it's very tonal. It's very like, this is going to sound weird, but because it's not within the context, but it's like peaceful, right? Compared to like a little bit of chaos we had in the beginning, we know where we're at. The groove is so established. It's just the forward motion makes sense. And it's a progression that we've heard. You know, it's a very familiar progression, but you know, not saying that this song sounds like any other song. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying in context of everything else we heard, this is the lock-in point so far. Listen to the phrasing and the delivery of that. That is such good stuff. Oh my God, see what happens when you have a nice melody. Like I complain because I'm #old. But this, like, there's such a great melody here. We are like void. It's very common to just be lacking melodies all the time, but not here. We get a great melody. We have also great harmony. So we can say the entire harmonic function of how everything is working together. It's like really nice to listen to. And also his voice sounds good. Like I don't feel like this is super processed. I feel like I'm hearing what the person actually sounds like. This, it's very enjoyable for me. bum. You hear a little string stuff in the background. I did not catch that at all before. Cool. That was cool. Wow, I have so many tingles right now. Isn't that fun to hear something new for the first time? You've probably already heard this. This is the first time for me. Like, I'm seriously like, all these things are happening. Let's go back. I don't even remember where it started. I think it was right around here. Some really great bass action there, but it was the hi-hat working. I was really digging that. It's coming up. Here we go. Cool phrasing. And the guitar part. That's pretty fun. But you get that in the background. The hi-hat's so nice and light, man. It just really has a good element here. Dominant bass sound, right side guitar. That's chord progression. So now we're getting the drum kit a little bit kind of nodding to that stuff we had in the beginning where it was a little bit breakbeatish. It's not totally the same beat, but it's way more suggestive of it than we've had in the previous section. So that's pretty cool. I'm singing all that woo-woo stuff wrong in the background, but it's there, adding a really nice harmonic layer. That might have been present, this stuff. If it was, I just didn't notice it, but you can really pick it out here because it's like the layerings are much more thin, and it's really the other stuff just pops out. Nice bass articulations there. Definitely has some good flavor. Yeah, man. The Jakukupa. I like the quarter note triplet fill coming into that, but then it's the descending bass line with a little piano ostinato, that little repeated pattern that keeps happening there. That really opens us up. And the 4 on the floor, obviously. That's the most pure delivery we've had of that. I'm not reading the lyrics. I got to come back and do it and be like, see what the song's actually about. I like my focus just to be on the sounds of the voice and what the instruments are telling us via the construction and connection of everything. Typical build. Let's keep going. Nice guitar stuff. Man, we'll start over in this new section here in a moment. It's just, again, we've already said it. I'm just going to say it again. It's the delivery of that melody on the hook and the harmonies and how it works with it. I feel like we're just getting kind of a unique experience. I am such a sucker for that. When it's good, like think about all the hooks that exist. Like there's plenty like great ones. It's cool. You know, there's a lot and they're all like so similar. This one just has a different feel to it for me. And that doesn't mean that it's true. Like, that's just an opinion, right? Like everyone's, there's a reason. I mean, think about it this way. If you think about all the music that is out there right now, and a lot of it is, you know, it's pretty subpar, bro. Like let's be real. But people buy that shit because not everyone has the same opinion. And that's the beauty of art. It's subjective. However, the more, you know, involved you get in and the wider your palette is, and then once you start dabbling within music and maybe you go like to a deeper level, you know, you've looked behind, you've been in the kitchen, you know what goes on, you know what's required to make things. And inevitably this is like, you know, the curtain is like pulled back and you're like, oh, you know, and kind of the lower end stuff hits you and you're like, wow, neat, cool, bro. Like that's nice. Then you hear something nice. You're like, oh yeah, this is a lot more in line with like, you know, higher levels of musicianship and the ingredients are better. We always do food analogies, but you know, I know you get what I'm saying. And does it mean that you need to love this piece? No. Does it mean you need to like dislike it? No, not at all. It's just, this is just where I'm coming from. And I'm just trying to say, damn, that's a good melody. There's more new stuff. Interesting. した敗北も妥協した選択肢もこうならざるを得なかった昨日を恨むから次こそ選ぶんだ僕が許せる僕は Interesting. Well, that was okay. That was a cool bridge to bring us into the kind of like more, I guess, I mean, the unplugged like chorus, I guess you could say. Let's go back and check out it again. We had a guitar feature. There was all kinds of stuff happening. And, you know, bridges are the bridge, just you go on a different road for a bit and then you come back. It's literally a bridge from the other material back to the familiar material. That was our first. Let's grab it again. So what do you think about that effect on the voice? This is really kind of a different, I'm getting a much different feel here. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I also don't like dislike it. It's just so different. That's an interesting feel. That's an interesting feel choice. Let's go back for what's going on here vocally. Nice harmonies there. That's cool. Yeah, I dig it. Like, we're so spoiled. The drop is so good. I feel like it's kind of hard not to be like, oh, that's not what I would have thought would have happened with the bridge, because just of how spoiled we've been with, like, you're always getting like a guaranteed, 10 out of 10. I'm not saying that the bridge is bad. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just like, oh, wow, this is really different. So it's just, it takes me a little bit to be like, okay, where are we going with these choices? And just to kind of soak it in. So let's keep going though. So that makes sense. Repeat. So it's a call and a response. You got your vocal line. It's big. It's open. It's long. Very legato. Guitar player plays back to it. Yeah, that seems like, like you're writing things that make a lot of sense and it's going to win, like, is it exceptional? I don't know. Does it need to be exceptional? Probably not. It's gorgeous. There we go. Okay. The obligatory drum fill to bring this into this kind of the unplugged section. And I do think hearing the main line here with the harmony without all the other stuff going on in the background, this is quite gorgeous right here.
Kyoukaisen no mukou gawa de agaku hitobito nageku
nice piano accompaniment. Obligatory. The glissando on the bass into the kick drum. This all feels very we've heard this many times in many compositions. Oh, cool. Now we're just nice. Completely different ending. That's cool. Little jam out at the end. Okay, so aside from the bridge just being a little bit different, I'll listen to it again a couple times. Let me know what you think about it though in the comments. Like, is that what you expected? If this was your first listen, if you've already heard it, maybe describe how you felt like the first time you heard the differences, or maybe you just heard the full version on your first listen. Who knows? There's a lot of possibilities out there. I do love this piece of music. That was good. I'm gonna go back probably I listen to the short version in the gym, so now I gotta listen to the long version now. So here we go. But definitely let me know what you think. My name is DrumRollTony. Catch me when I'm live on Twitch. Come watch some anime with me on the Patreon. Link for all the socials down in the video description below. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. YouTube thinks you want to watch one of these two videos next. Have a great day. Take it easy. Bye-bye.